She sent me a photo from the airport holding hands with another guy, captioned, "Leaving all the dead weight behind." I didn't reply, just reported the card stolen. 12 hours later, she was detained abroad, begging me to fix the misunderstanding. Hey viewers, just a quick thanks. Over 14% of you are already subscribed, and it means the world. If you're new here and enjoy these stories, join the family by hitting that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000. Posting this on throwaway because it's still ongoing. I'm 30M Ben, work as an airline pilot. Been dating Mia, 27F, for about a year and a half. She's a travel blogger, one of those Instagram influencer types who posts pictures of fancy hotels and exotic locations. Here's the thing about Mia's career. It doesn't actually pay much. Maybe a few $100 a month from sponsorships and affiliate links. Not exactly sustainable income for someone who wants to travel constantly and stay at 5-star resorts. That's where I came in. My job has decent perks, flight benefits, good salary, travel opportunities. Mia loved that I could get her discounted flights and had connections at hotels worldwide. Looking back, should have been a red flag that she was more excited about my travel benefits than actually dating me. About 6 months ago, Mia started pushing for us to travel together more, said it would be amazing content for her blog and Instagram. I was working a lot but figured some vacation time would be good for our relationship. Big mistake. Turns out, Mia's idea of traveling together meant me paying for everything while she posed for photos and treated me like her personal assistant/photographer. Ben, can you hold my phone and get this shot? Ben, can you ask the hotel to upgrade our room for content? Ben, can you see if the restaurant will comp our meal if I tag them? I was basically funding her Instagram lifestyle while she treated me like hired help. The final straw came 3 weeks ago. Mia announced she was planning a solo trip to Europe for her blog. Said she needed to focus on creating content without distractions. What kind of content requires you to travel alone? I asked. Authentic travel experiences. My followers want to see real, independent travel, not couple stuff. Made sense, I guess. I offered to help her book flights with my airline connections. Actually, I already booked everything. Trevor's handling the travel arrangements. Trevor, her photographer friend who she'd been working with more lately. Tall guy, hipster beard, constantly taking artsy photos of coffee cups and sunsets. Trevor's going with you on your solo trip? He's not going with me. He's working. I hired him as my photographer for this project. Right, she hired a photographer for her solo independent travel blog, but whatever. I had my own work to focus on. Told her to have fun and be safe. That was 3 weeks ago. Since then, Mia had been posting constantly from Paris, Rome, Barcelona, professional-looking photos of her at famous landmarks, fancy restaurants, luxury hotels, all with Trevor behind the camera apparently. I noticed the photos were getting way more likes than usual. Her follower count was growing. Comments were full of people asking about her European adventure and how she could afford such nice places. Mia never mentioned that her boyfriend was a pilot who'd helped her get cheap flights and hotel connections. Just played up the whole independent solo traveler image. Yesterday morning, I'm in Chicago between flights when my phone buzzes. Text from Mia. It's a photo of her and Trevor at what looks like Barcelona airport. They're holding hands, both smiling at the camera. Trevor's got his arm around her waist. The caption, "Leaving all the dead weight behind. Barcelona was amazing, but Athens is calling." Dead weight, that's me apparently. I stared at that photo for a good 5 minutes. My girlfriend of a year and a half just posted a picture holding hands with another guy while calling me dead weight. But here's the thing that really got me. I recognize that airport. Been through Barcelona El Prat dozens of times for work, and I noticed something in the background of their photo. They were in the business class lounge. The business class lounge that costs €200 to access unless you have status or the right credit card. Guess which credit card gets you lounge access? The platinum travel card I added Mia to 6 months ago so she could have airport perks when we traveled together. So my girlfriend was using my credit card to access airport lounges while posting photos with her new boyfriend and calling me dead weight. Most guys would have called her screaming. Sent angry texts, made a scene, not me. I opened my banking app and reported the card as stolen. Took about 30 seconds. Selected card stolen, confirmed the action, done. Automatic freeze on all activity. Then I went to grab lunch and catch my next flight to Denver. About 6 hours later, my phone started buzzing. Text from Mia. Ben, there's something wrong with the card. It got declined at the hotel. I didn't respond. Was actually in the air flying to Denver at that point with my phone in airplane mode. 3 hours later, another text. Ben, this is urgent. The card isn't working and the hotel is threatening to call security. Please call me. Still didn't respond. Had work to focus on. By the time I landed in Denver and checked my phone, there were 12 missed calls and about 20 texts from Mia. The messages got increasingly frantic. Ben, what did you do to the card? Ben, they won't let us check into the Athens hotel without a working payment method. Ben, we're at the airport and the lounge won't accept the card. Ben, Trevor's card got declined too and we can't afford these hotels without yours. That last message was interesting. So Trevor couldn't actually afford the luxury lifestyle they'd been posting about. Shocking. The final message came around 11 p.m. my time. Ben, we're being detained at Athens airport. There's some issue with our payment methods and they think we're trying to fraud the system. Please call me immediately. Detained at Athens airport. Now that got my attention. I did some research. Turns out when you book expensive hotels and flights with credit cards that suddenly get reported for unauthorized use, European authorities can investigate potential fraud, especially when travelers can't provide alternative payment methods and there are questions about who authorized the charges. My phone rang. Unknown international number. Ben? Oh, thank God you answered. Hey Mia, how's Athens? Ben, there's been a huge misunderstanding. The authorities are questioning us about payment irregularities. They want to verify who authorized our hotel bookings. That sounds stressful. Ben, I need you to call the bank and confirm that I had permission to use the card. But you didn't have permission to use it for this trip, Mia. What? Yes, I did. You gave me the card. I gave you the card for when we traveled together, not for romantic getaways with other guys. Long pause. Ben, please. This isn't the time for jokes. We could get arrested. Probably should have thought about that before posting photos calling me dead weight while using my credit card. Ben, I can explain about Trevor. I'm sure you can, from Athens airport security apparently. Ben, please, I'll pay you back for everything. Just call the bank. How are you going to pay me back, Mia, with your travel blog income? Another pause. Ben, I'm scared. They're talking about charging us with fraud. That does sound scary. So you'll call the bank? No. Ben, please, I'm sorry about the photo. I was just excited about the trip. The trip you're taking with your boyfriend using my money. Trevor's not my boyfriend. He's just a friend. Friends don't usually hold hands at airports, Mia. That photo was just for content. For my Instagram. Content about leaving your dead-weight boyfriend behind? She was crying now. Ben, I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it? I meant leaving behind negative energy, not you specifically, while holding hands with Trevor and using my credit card. Ben, please, I promise I'll explain everything when I get home. Just please call the bank. You know what, Mia? I think this trip is exactly the content your followers deserve. Real authentic travel experiences, like dealing with European airport security when your sugar daddy cuts off your credit card. Ben, that's not fair. What's not fair is you calling me dead weight while spending my money on another guy. I hung up. Over the next few hours, I got calls from 3 different numbers. Mia, Trevor, and what sounded like an airport official who barely spoke English. Didn't answer any of them. Update, 2 days later. The international situation is apparently resolved. Mia and Trevor were released after about 18 hours of questioning. From what I gathered through mutual friends, they had to provide documentation about their relationship to me and pay penalties for the booking complications. Trevor had to use his emergency credit card for new tickets home. Mia's been blowing up my phone trying to apologize and explain. According to her, the whole thing was a misunderstanding, and Trevor was just a friend helping with content. Her story keeps changing. Version 1. Trevor was hired as a photographer, and the hand-holding was just for a staged photo. Version 2. They were pretending to be a couple for better hotel rates and Instagram engagement. Version 3. She was just excited about the trip and posted the photo without thinking. Version 4. The whole thing was Trevor's idea, and she went along with it for content. None of these versions explain why she called me deadweight while using my credit card to fund her European adventure with another guy. The best part? Mia's Instagram has gone dark. Hasn't posted anything since the airport detention incident. Turns out being detained by foreign police isn't great content for a travel blog. Her follower count is actually dropping. Apparently, her audience was more interested in the luxury travel lifestyle than authentic European legal troubles. Trevor posted one cryptic story about learning experiences and unexpected challenges, but hasn't tagged Mia in anything since. Seems like their creative partnership ended around the time they had to split a €3,000 fine. Mia's been asking mutual friends to convince me to work things out. According to her bestie Kate, Mia is devastated and realizes she made a huge mistake. Kate called me yesterday. Ben, Mia is a mess. She knows she screwed up. I'm sure she is. She wants to pay you back for the trip costs. With what money, Kate? Her travel blog earnings? She's gonna get a real job. She's already looking. Good for her. Ben, she really loves you. The thing with Trevor was just for content. Content about leaving dead weight behind? She didn't mean you. She meant leaving behind her old, boring content style. These people will say anything to avoid accountability. Kate, she used my credit card to fund a romantic trip with another guy. Then posted photos calling me dead weight. I don't really care what her excuse is. But Ben, you guys had such a good thing. Yeah, I paid for everything while she treated me like an assistant. Real good thing. That's not true. Kate, name one thing Mia paid for in our relationship. Long pause. She bought you coffee sometimes. With my money, using the card I gave her. Kate didn't have much to say after that. Final update. 1 week later. Mia finally gave up trying to get back together. Her last attempt was showing up at my apartment building yesterday with what looked like a prepared speech about how sorry she was and how she'd changed. Building has good security though. They called up to ask if I wanted to see her. No thanks. If she wants to communicate, she can do it through her lawyer. Ben, please. I could hear her yelling in the background. Just give me 5 minutes. Tell her the deadweight doesn't have time for meetings. Security was happy to escort her out. Got a text later. I hope you're happy. You ruined my life. My response, I didn't ruin your life. I just stopped funding it. She blocked me after that. Finally. The credit card company was actually pretty understanding about the whole situation. Since I reported unauthorized use and could demonstrate that the card was being used for purposes outside the authorized arrangement, they reversed the charges. The bank confirmed that authorized users don't have unlimited permission to use cards for any purpose. Found out later that Mia and Trevor racked up about €8,000 in charges before the card got frozen. Expensive hotels, business class flights, fine dining, the works. All for her solo travel content about independent adventures. Trevor apparently expected Mia to cover his half of the expenses. When she couldn't, their friendship ended pretty quickly. Turns out his artistic integrity only extended as far as his wallet. Mia's back to living with her parents in suburban Minnesota. Her travel blog is officially on hiatus, and she's working at a local coffee shop. Kate mentioned she's been talking about finding herself and learning the value of hard work. Character development at 27. Better late than never. As for me, I'm doing great. Been using my flight benefits to take actual vacations instead of funding someone else's fake Instagram lifestyle. Turns out travel is way more enjoyable when you're not being treated like a personal assistant. Met someone new actually. Another pilot who understands the industry and pays for her own coffee. Novel concept. The whole experience taught me something valuable about red flags. When someone's more excited about your perks than your personality, believe them the first time. Mia wanted to leave the dead weight behind. Turns out she was the dead weight all along. Sometimes the best revenge is just stopping the direct deposit into someone else's dream life. Edit. Getting a lot of DMs asking about the legal consequences for Mia and Trevor. From what I understand, they had to provide documentation and pay administrative fees for the booking complications. No criminal charges filed, but there were definitely some uncomfortable questions about authorization and payment methods. Edit 2. Yes, I had legal right to report the card stolen. She was an authorized user, not a joint account holder. When someone uses your credit card for purposes you didn't authorize, funding their romantic getaway with another person, that's considered unauthorized use. I notified the bank that the card was being used without my permission. Edit 3. To everyone saying I should have communicated better, she posted a photo holding hands with another guy, calling me deadweight while using my money. That communicated pretty clearly where we stood.